Having prepared for my cruise ship journey through the Adriatic Sea and its southern Slavic countries of Montenegro, Croatia, and Slovenia by watching movies and television series, I kept an eye out for weird sea creatures. What else could I do after watching Killer Mermaid? I figured said mermaids could swim from the film site on Montenegro's Mamula Island to any location on our itinerary. A small school of dolphins I spotted from my balcony didn't seem worried, but swam too fast for me to photograph. The dolphins emphasized the region's gorgeous blue sea, while summertime heat suggested the obvious: get in the water. And so we did when our ship docked conveniently by a popular swim site at Zadar in Croatia.
Fred, have we ever swum in the Adriatic before?
No, neither of you.
No, this is something we need to do.
We hope.
Well, not for long, but we have time to get at least in the water in our elegant bathing clothes.
Oh, don't slip here.
This is called don't hit the bottom when you land. Woo! How's that feel? Better than that polar plunge we did?
Woo, that's nice.
Yeah.
Woo! Yeah!
Woo! Whether or not you've seen it on screen before, Zadar, Croatia, a fun place to go for jumping in the Adriatic, or hanging out and looking for Dalmatians and discovering a Jack Russell Terrier.
A dip in the Adriatic, sans Killer Mermaids, added to a long list of enticing experiences in the region, starting with a hike that required a drive up a narrow, winding road to Lovsin National Park.
That is funny.
Or this butterfly. This butterfly is this big. It's not wild at all. It approaches people, and it can be only found here in this area, let's say above Kotor. The biggest animal can be found here is black bear. Now our black bear is actually brownish. So when we joke about stereotype, they would say about us how we are lazy people. That's the late comment.
Following the hike, we had time to explore the town of Kotor, once a part of Yugoslavia and host to a big-budget movie starring Richard Burton as communist leader Josip Tito. Kotor boasts a medieval wall surrounding a community that dates back to 168 BC. With newly made friends Rebecca and Jerry, we took advantage of more modern opportunities like bars and restaurants serving tasty local dishes and wine. Kotor also proudly displays a love of cats. A museum honors them. A town square serves their needs. Pretty much anywhere you look, you find an example of how to ignore tourist crowds and just chill.
I'm gonna kill it. I can kill it.
Over there and another one over there.
These poles will not survive the night. Old Kotor is where Pierce Brosnan, not being James Bond, but being a different spy in the November Man, had a race through this area.
Our next stop in Croatia's Dubrovnik also included cats and medieval history, though many visitors showed up for a major screen connection. From season 2 through the show's end, the city played King's Landing in Game of Thrones. Some shake their heads about the allure, but our guide shared warmer thoughts.
Do you get tired of tourists like me asking you about Game of Thrones?
Not at all. This is I see it as a very I see it as something new, some new value that was added to the city. And I'm local from Dubrovnik. I'm historian. Game of Thrones didn't take the history away from the city, just added something new. And it's hard to say the exact number, but about 1,000 local people work on the show. In front of the cameras as extras, but also behind cameras as crew members. and you're looking at one right now. It was interesting experience, but very hard physical work and long days. Game of Thrones also brought many more productions in Dubrovnik in the last 10 years, so Star Wars, Bollywood movies, Jack Ryan, Vikings Valhalla, Lee, Amazing Grace, and many other shows.
But your favorite movie that was filmed in Dubrovnik, Game of Thrones, of course, was a series, but your movie was The Fantastic Superman.
The Three Fantastic Superman, which was filmed in 1967 here in Dubrovnik. And I mean, for today's standards, it's a B-quality movie, a low-budget movie, but very interesting one, action movie with many action scenes. So for local people, and of course especially for me as a historian, it's very interesting to see how the city was changing through time. The old city from earliest movies that were filmed here at the end of the First World War looks more or less the same.
Yes, given the book I wrote and its seen-on-screen bucket list theme, I found a Game of Thrones site and marched down those same steps a major character takes on what fans call the Walk of Shame. Sure enough, I kept hearing cries of "Shame! Shame!" but didn't take them personally since, unlike her, I kept my clothes on.
A variation of the Rocky Steps, the Walk of Shame from Game of Thrones.
Fred and I could have taken an official Game of Thrones tour, but instead sought out our passion for food and wine, bumping into our new hiking friends. It happened a lot the rest of the trip. Food saturated our next day's Croatia experience as we rode from Zadar to Pag, a barren island whose moonscape appearance gave it a role in a series called The Terror. No terror for us. We toured a cheese factory famous worldwide for special flavors from sheep who dine on local herbs.
Well, Monty Python didn't film here, but we are at a cheese factory, and blessed are the cheesemakers.
Preparing us for our next stop, an onboard lecturer compared Piran, Slovenia to the imaginary land of Narnia, appropriate since one of the series' chronicles filmed there. The whole country features fantastical images, including an amazing set of caves. Another cave linked to a castle brought Jackie Chan to the country for the first of his Armor of God movies.
Around the world in movies, bucket list destinations seen on screen. We are in Slovenia at the castle where Jackie Chan did one of his early movies, Armor of God, in 1986. It's a cold and dank castle. The largest that's actually set inside a cave. So our next trip is to go inside the cave.
The country's medieval structures and seaside location also suited for Mark Wahlberg playing against type and letting Halle Berry lead as action star in The Union. Those southern Slavic countries absolutely suit action and fantasy, with reality showcasing the thrills of hiking, catting, eating, and swimming with no killer mermaids.